Hey everybody, it's Grim, and today I'm going to be separating out some of my moss and making some more propagation for them. This moss is so beautiful. I actually don't know what species it is, but it's lovely and fluffy, and it's hit its point of being way too full for this little tub here, so we're going to separate it out. All I have here is just a plastic sushi thing I got from Walmart or Kroger. I don't remember which one I went to. But this, I think, would be a perfect little grow bed for moss right here. And because it's plastic, it'll hold all of that moisture that we need in there for it, and it won't let the moss dry out. I also have another tub of moss right here. This stuff I got in the forest, I think 2 years ago. I absolutely love how fluffy this stuff is. It is gorgeous. I would love to know what species it is, but I found it on a log. I ripped it off, and a piece of the bark too. Here's the piece of bark. When I first got it, it was just a few strands. And then I had some cooking wood chips that I used in here. Then I just rehydrated them because this was growing on wood. I figured it'd probably want to keep growing on rotten wood. And I was pretty right. It had started spreading out in here pretty nicely, and now it's gotten to a point where she needs an upgrade. So I have another tub here. We got this one from Walmart too. I need to clean it out, but I think this will be a good upgrade size for this moss, so that way it has more room to go out and be fluffy, because right now she's hitting the top of the lid and I think she needs a lot more space. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in time lapse. I would also like to say, for anybody who would like to grow moss on top of like wood surfaces or like pieces of bark, you're going to end up starting off with some strands similar to these here, or whatever kind of pieces of moss that you have. Make sure your enclosure is super humid. Like, I filled this up with water. It's almost like boggy pretty much. And what you're going to do is you're going to set your like wood bark pieces deep down in that wet soil. And when all of that wood is going to absorb all of that moisture, and it's going to make it much easier for that moss to grow on top of those wood surfaces, and they're not going to want to let go because they'll be able to make those little roots that stick to it. So when I was pulling this apart, the wood itself is super brittle, very easy to break. The reason why I had trouble pulling this apart was because of the moss. It's like so thick and so like stuck to this wood now because of how moisture full the enclosure was, that it doesn't want to let go. So if you actually want to grow moss on top of wood surfaces, this is a really great way to do it. You should get you a big piece of flat bark, press your moss on there real good, keep misting it with water, and don't fucking touch it. Literally just leave it alone for several months and don't fucking touch it, and you're good. The maintenance that I do on moss bins is I'll open it maybe like once every 2 months or so, breathe into it like really heavy with carbon monoxide, so like you give it like stuff to make more plants, or you can add springtails to this too. Some of my old moss enclosures just had springtails, and I left them shut for months and just made sure that I added water every now and then when I thought it looked a little crispy, if you know. So as long as you keep your moss moist and everything is like super damp, your moss will do great. And you just shut it and keep it and leave it alone. Some mosses won't do well, some do, but most of these I legitimately just picked up off of like surfaces at random places. Like, this stuff looks so cool. I don't even know what that is. My friend sent this moss to me. He found it in a random like set of woods somewhere, but I really just love how it looks. It's so floofy. So let's get this in here. Alright, the last part of this process is you just want to stick them in a well-lit window and leave them alone